Hey curious kids, Kevin here. Today on A Place Called Space, we are going to be talking about rockets. Yep, rocket science from the rocket scientist. So you've heard of NASA, right? This is the company that I used to work for the government. Well, there's another company called SpaceX. You may have heard of it, you may not have. It's another company that's not the government that builds rockets too. Now they're building a new rocket called Starship. Doesn't it just sound super cool? Starship. So they have a rocket right now that works called the Falcon 9 rocket. And the little thing on top of the rocket, little capsule, they have one called Dragon. And those work, but they want to build a bigger one. So Starship is going to be a long duration, bigger rocket, aka one that can bring us back to the moon and out to Mars. So they're working and building and testing this one in Florida and Texas. Now, it's going to be the biggest rocket ever built. It's going to be the tallest one. Taller than the Saturn V rocket, which took the astronauts to the moon, and bigger than the new NASA rocket that's being built called the SLS, or the Space Launch System. So the Starship is going to be 120 meters tall, which is taller than the Statue of Liberty. That's a big rocket. Now, when can we put the humans in that rocket, right? When's it going to launch? Well, there's going to be hundreds of flights first with just robots and supplies before we put humans on it. And we think maybe that we're going to have the first launch into space in 2021. So sometime coming up next year. Speaking of rockets, I need your help. I would like you to draw me a rocket and a planet. You can either create your own or pick one of your favorite ones and then draw your version of it. I would really like to see your creative and imagination skills by drawing rockets and planets. Now, you can either send them to me in the mail or you can take a picture and email them to me. So work with your parents or your guardians to figure out how to send over your amazing creations. In the description below will be links to the email address or the address if you just want to send it to me. I am super excited to see what you put together. Okay, now on to trivia. So the answer to last week's question of what do you call a planet that is outside of our solar system is D, exoplanet. We have found over 2,000 exoplanets. Planets that are not in our solar system. There are so many planets out there. Are there aliens? Maybe. Maybe not. We're hoping to find out. Okay, this week's trivia question is, what is the smallest planet in our solar system? Is it A, Mercury, B, Venus, C, Earth, or D, Mars? Tune in next week to get your answer. Always be curious.